Ladies and gentlemen, the U.S. Congress had a meeting on UFOs. Now, look at the timing of this. We're almost at the end of this kingdom, and they are concerned about these UFOs and the threat they have on national security. So, what did they review? They reviewed a series of footage from the U.S. Navy. And I'm going to go ahead and play this audio from the Wall Street Journal. UFO video footage reviewed during congressional hearing. House Subcommittee hears testimony from defense officials on reports of unidentified aerial phenomena and risks they pose to national security. By Joseph de Avila. May 17, 2022, 12:32 p.m. Eastern Time. U.S. defense officials released videos of unidentified flying objects during the first congressional hearing on the subject in more than half a century. The House Intelligence Committee's Subcommittee on Counterterrorism, Counterintelligence, and Counterproliferation heard testimony Tuesday from defense officials on reports of unidentified aerial phenomena and the risks they pose to national security. Unidentified aerial phenomena, or WAPs, is how the federal government refers to what is commonly called UFOs. One clip of a video showed the view from the cockpit of an aircraft and a split-second flash of a spherical object flying to the right of the aircraft. Scott Bray, Deputy Director of Naval Intelligence, said analysts have been unable to explain what the object is. Many reports of WAPs are similar in that they contain low-quality data and reporting that makes it difficult to draw conclusions to explain what was viewed, he said. Mr. Bray showed two additional clips of video captured with night vision showing a floating green triangle floating in the sky. These videos were captured in different places at different times, he said. Analysts have concluded these are unmanned aerial systems, he said. This is a popular topic in our nation, with various theories as to what these objects may be and where they originated, Mr. Bray said. By nature, we are all curious and we seek to understand the unknown. And as a lifelong intelligence professional, I'm impatient. I want immediate explanations for this as much as anyone else. The hearing comes after the Office of the Director of National Intelligence released a report last year reviewing dozens of reports of mysterious flying objects that occurred between 2004 and 2021. Some of these flying objects reportedly appeared to exhibit unusual flight characteristics, but these observations could be the result of sensor errors, spoofing, or observer misperception, the report said. The report also found 18 examples of the objects displaying no visible propulsion or appeared to use technology beyond the known capabilities of the U.S. or its adversaries. These flying objects could potentially pose a hazard to safety of flight and could pose a broader danger if some instances represent sophisticated collection against U.S. military activities by a foreign government or demonstrate a breakthrough aerospace technology by a potential adversary, the report said. China and Russia are believed to have experimented with hypersonic technology, which moves at more than 5 times the speed of sound. But the intelligence report didn't conclude that those nations were involved in the unexplained flights. The WAP task force has come up with 5 potential explanations for WAPs: airborne clutter, natural atmospheric phenomena, U.S. government or U.S. industry developmental programs, foreign adversary systems, or other, Mr. Bray said. The other category includes difficult cases that don't fall in the other categories, he said. Representative Andre Carson v. Indiana, the chairman of the Subcommittee on Counterterrorism, Counterintelligence, and Counterproliferation, who is leading the panel, said defense officials need to continue investigating these mysterious flying objects in the event they may pose a national security threat. This hearing and oversight work has a simple idea at its core: aerial phenomena are a potential national security threat, and they need to be treated that way, he said. WAPs are unexplained, that's true, but they are real. They need to be investigated, and many threats they pose need to be mitigated. Ronald Moultrie, Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security, told of the task force that the Defense Department is working on eliminating the stigma from reporting on WAPs within the department. He added that he wouldn't rule out any possible explanations for these phenomena. The release of last year's report along with Tuesday's congressional testimony were part of efforts by the Defense Department to assure the public it was being transparent about what it knows and doesn't know about WAPs. We want to know what's out there as much as you want to know what's out there, Mr. Moultrie said. Mr. Bray said the U.S. military has never tried to communicate with these unexplained flying objects and has never detected any communication signals coming from those objects. In many cases, it appears to be something that is unmanned, appears to be something that may or may not be in controlled flight. And so we have not attempted any communication with that, Mr. Bray said. WAPs have never collided with U.S. aircrafts, but there have been at least 11 near misses, he said, while adding that the U.S. has also never fired weapons at WAPs. Mr. Bray said the WAP task force has never collected any wreckage from aircraft it has determined to have an extraterrestrial origin. The WAP task force doesn't have any wreckage that isn't explainable, that isn't consistent with being of terrestrial origin, Mr. Bray said. Write to Joseph de Avila at joseph.deavila@wsj.com.
Okay, y'all. So you heard that. So they were examining this footage of UFO in this committee, and to me, it's something that's scaring them. I really do. I mean, why now? We have heard about these objects. Many of us have heard about these sightings off and on throughout our whole life. And many of you are in states and you've seen these sightings. I've seen them, or you'll see footage of somebody picking up a sighting in your state and it'll go viral online. But none of this have been, fully explained from this government. They always seem to want to remain tight-lipped about it. They see all of this activity going on up in the skies and they just keep quiet. And many of the pilots are also told to be quiet. Years ago, and this was before I was really young. I think I was probably about 20 years old. I was talking to a guy and he flew for FedEx. And he told me they were never allowed to talk about what they see when they're doing their job. They're told just to do their job and don't talk about nothing that they encounter while they're flying. He told me one time he was flying, he flew the same route every single day. He went from Philadelphia International Airport. From there, he would fly into Memphis, Tennessee. And then he would come back and he would hit Illinois and then back to Philadelphia. And that was his route every single day. He flew the same route every day. And he said one time he was flying, there was one about the size of a school bus that was flying side by side with him. And he looked over and saw it and said it flew next to him probably for a good 2 minutes. And then it took off real fast. He said he knew it wasn't an airplane because airplanes don't go that fast. And he said almost as fast as he saw it, it disappeared. And there was another one he was saying that was flying slightly above his FedEx plane. He could look up and see this thing, and said it kept up with him for a little while and that one took off real fast. And he said those speeds cannot be matched by an airplane or helicopter or anything like that. But they have to sign a disclosure saying they're not going to go to the media or talk about this sort of thing. So it's interesting. It always will be an interesting topic because, to some people it has a lot of mystery. And to others, they are the chariots. And this is what they feel they're looking at. Some people say it's the angels up there. Um, but whatever it is, I don't know if the activity has increased over these last several years. But, something is up when they put a committee together and they're just sitting and viewing all of the footage. Now, they're using national security as their reason because they said these can potentially be a threat on the security here in America. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.